Yes, you know, he's correct.
I don't eat anything that God say don't eat. That's common sense. God said the only thing in the world is to eat. You ever read Leviticus the 11th chapter? You can only eat things in the waters that have scales and fins. So if God say eat it, that's what we eat. Period. I never seen when Christ was spreading the fish, the 2 fish and the loaves. I didn't see him say, spread that scale of some shrimp. And don't forget, Peter and his brother were fishermen. So when you cast your net on the side of a boat, you're going to catch more than fish. You're going to catch all types of scavengers. But they threw the scavengers back and ate the fish. Because that's what God said eat. And Christ said he come not to destroy the law or the prophets. He came to fulfill.
In Acts, I think it's one of Cornelius' house.
Let's get it. Acts 10 chapter.
Where he had the dream and he told him to eat things in there.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
That's what the church did when he was working on the
So if you found out that there was lion, then what? You would do what God said.
I got that when he was working on the
Hold that. Get Acts 10. Show you the scripture they use to say you can eat anything you want. Yes, I'm going there. Acts 10 and 1, read.
Acts 10:1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial before God. And now send men to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lies with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manners of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
What verse you at?
Verse 14.
14 says, I have not eaten anything that is common and unclean. Don't forget, he was in a trance, he was asleep. He was shown something, right? Read. And this is scripture they use to say you can eat anything you want, correct? Read on.
Verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again the 2nd time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
If the Lord cleansed it, Peter, eat it, right? Read.
This was done thrice.
It was done 3 times. Read.
And the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean.
So Peter didn't even know what the vision meant when he woke up. Right? Now you notice that when they go into that scripture, they stop and say, well, the Lord cleansed, you can't call common or unclean. Go ahead and eat your part. But they skipped something. Peter, when he woke up, didn't even know what the vision meant. God had to clear it up for him at a future time. So he didn't know. So now, what was God preparing them for with that? Let's see. Read.
Behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry of Simon's house and stood before the gate, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise, therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing.
So he told him, listen, go to them, and don't doubt nothing. So he was telling Peter, listen, I've sent some guys to you, but you better not doubt what I'm showing you here. Read.
for I have sent them. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius,
Go ahead.
and said, Behold, I am he whom ye seek. What is the cause wherefore ye are come?
So now, Cornelius was a Gentile, right?
Yeah.
He said, listen, I am him whom you seek. Read.
And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a just man and one that feared God, and of good report among all the nations of the Jews, was warned from God by an holy angel to send for thee into his house and to hear words of thee. Then called he them in and lodged them. And on the morrow Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and had called together his kinsmen and near friends. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man.
Peter said, hold up. Stand up, Cornelius, because I'm also am a man. Read.
And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation.
He said, you know it's unlawful for a man that is a Jew to come and deal with another nation. So up until that time, Peter had never sat down and lodged another nation. Read on.
But God hath shown me that
But God has shown me what?
But God hath shown me that I should not call any man,
Any what?
any man,
Any food?
any man,
Any food?
any man,
Any pork?
any man,
Any shrimp?
any man,
Any what?
any man,
Any what?
any man,
Go ahead.
common or unclean.
He was talking about people. Now go back to the 14th verse.
But
What verse you just left off at? Which is common or unclean. He's 28. Read 14.
But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
Not so, Lord. I've never eaten anything that's common or unclean. Read the 28th verse.
And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation.
Go ahead. A nation. Nation is people. Read.
But God hath shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
God showed him that he cannot call any man common or unclean. Now, I'm going to show you something. You know why I have to show you this again? You know why I had to